My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less of videos. I started doing this about 2 years ago when I started browsing YouTube, and I found out how much bad information there was on the YouTube and the number of people who were not telling you the truth. They had salesmen and actresses kind of reading scripts to draw and suck you in, and you have no idea how many calls I get of people that have been ripped off by firms because you have sales speaking to you initially. If you're not speaking to a tax attorney or a CPA enrolled agent or former IRS agent, I just want you to know that on that initial call, those people don't know what they're doing. So anyway, I try to educate you and inform you about me. I've worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I'm a national expert in IRS resolution matters. I have a huge Facebook following group of professionals, and I have a whole team of former IRS agents. You'll find my information in the description section below if you want to get ahead and get a hold of me. I want to talk to you today about how to have better odds to get your offer accepted. Just a few tips that will be important to you. They increase your chances of acceptance. As a former IRS agent, I accepted offers. Yes, a pen like this used to sign and say offer accepted, boom, offer and compromise denied. Yeah, I did this. I was so good at it that I was flown to Atlanta and I would train other revenue officers. So I am an expert in the offer and compromise. So if you need an offer to be filed, let me know. But anyway, I want to give you 2 tips, very, very important tips. Write a cover letter on your case. Here's what happens. As a former agent, right, I'm reading one offer after the other offer after the other offer. They just boom, boom, they all go together. You go on break. You don't even know one offer from the other. You don't know which one you're looking at. It just becomes overwhelming. If you write a 2-page cover letter, man, you go ahead and separate yourself from the pack. You really do, because now you've drawn me in personally into your offer and compromise, and that's important. You want to go ahead and maybe put some exhibits in there or a little documentation with help. Let me know why you need this offer and what happened to you. If not, all I'm looking at is a financial statement and a form. I know nothing about you whatsoever. Usually no more than 2 pages. I'll give you a quick example. I had a dentist who was making a lot of money, owed about $400,000, and the guy broke his wrist and he has screws in it. No way he was going to go ahead and get back to the way he was, because it was causing him a lot of pain. What I did on that case, I wrote my cover letter. I attached copies of X-rays so they could go ahead and they could see the screws in the wrist. So if you can colorize that offer and suck the agent into it, you don't overdo it. You don't make the agent want to cry, because they're not going to cry. They're just not going to cry, but they are going to go ahead and look at that. So put the facts down, make sure they're in order, let it make sense. And the other thing that's really, really important, the biggest tip I can give you, is make sure you know what the national standards are. IRS uses national standards to accept expenses. I just want to give you, there's 4 of them you got to be very careful of. IRS is going to only allow you so much for food and clothing, so much for housing and utilities, so much for car payments, and so much to drive your car around. If you are not familiar with the IRS National Standard Program, do not file your offer and compromise. Chances are it's not going to be accepted. The people who are doing the work better understand this program. One last big, huge tip is this. If you have contacted a company to do this, and it's usually one of those companies that run ads, you can tell they're Google ads, but add the first 4 ads on the top and the bottom 3. You're speaking to salesmen, and they're taking a bunch of information on you. That is so wrong. At our firm, I have to see the IRS financial statement you're turning into them before we even take a case on or take any money, because we don't want those forms going in the way somebody else may prepare them. Make sure if you're going to give your money to a firm, it's not us, hint, 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 you give them that financial statement first. Let them look at it and make sure an attorney, a CPA, an enrolled agent, or a former IRS agent is looking at that form. Just don't give them all the numbers. That just doesn't work. You want to turn in the form so the person reviewing will know exactly what's going to happen. When you give me that form, I'm going to know exactly within seconds of reviewing that form whether your offer is going to go down or not. Just make sure you know the program. Also, you're allowed to put wholesale values down for your for assets. IRS will check on that. If you have real estate, they're going to use Realtor.com or they'll use Zillow. So IRS they do a lot of due diligence on offers and compromise. You need one to go through. If you qualify, I can probably do it, but I don't take every case. You have to be a qualified candidate for us to take it. So anyway, also make sure all your tax returns are filed really big, and make sure your estimate and withholdings up to date. IRS do not want anybody running up debt. Give me a subscription if you would. I gave you a lot of good information. YouTube loves us to have subscriptions. I would appreciate, in fact, if you would do that. Leave me a comment. You want me to change a little what I say, how I say it. I'm up for criticism. I really always have been. I don't really get mad. I love to improve myself, so I'd love that. Give me a like. I appreciate it.